What's going on, you guys? My name's Dev, back here from D-Lone, and today we are talking about every NBA team's most underrated player this season. This is the 2024 season, so we've done a couple videos like this. We did most improved player, and I think we even did the defensive player of the year, or every team's best defender. So if you guys enjoy these types of videos, please like, subscribe, and I don't want to keep you guys waiting much longer. I just want to get into this video to get it over with. And hopefully you guys like, subscribe, and this is every team's most underrated player from this season. The AC or the heat is about to turn on, so don't mind the noise in the background because I picked the wrong time to do this video. So let's get into this. For the Atlanta Hawks, we have DeJounte Murray, who I'm pretty sure was also their best defender. But he wasn't their most improved player because that went to Jalen Johnson. I could see that DeJounte Murray. A lot of people think he's bad now, but he's really not bad. He's just took a lesser role than what he was in San Antonio. So, yeah, I agree with the Atlanta Hawks' most underrated player. It even could be Jalen Johnson. Next, we have for the Boston Celtics, we have Derek White. I totally agree with this one because Derek White is like the glue that holds the whole Celtics together. That used to be Marcus Smart, but now it's Derek White. He's like the whole glue that holds the Celtics together because without Derek White, they were losing quite a bit of games. But they are officially a 60-win team, so I got my 60-win thing, right? So, I agree with the Boston Celtics one that Derek White is their most underrated player. I could probably do this with overrated players and even most hated players on the team. Next, we have for the Brooklyn Nets, we have Nicholas Claxton, who is a great rim protector. So, I'm not even looking at their stats. It's showing their stats: 12 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 blocks per game. Yeah, he's pretty underrated. We don't even talk about him that much. Next, we have a rookie for the Charlotte Hornets. We have Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller is pretty underrated. I don't know. I know is pretty underrated. I don't know fully, though, because he's a rookie. So what can you kind of... But he's a great rookie. I'm going to show you his stats real quick. 17 points per game, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, basically a steal, and almost a block a night. Pretty good for a rook. Next, we have for the Chicago Bulls, Ayo Dosunmu. It's between him and Kobe White for most underrated player. But I guess Kobe White is getting his credit nowadays. So I guess Ayo Dosunmu is their most underrated player at 12 points per game, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, basically a steal, and basically a block a game. That is pretty underrated. Finally, we're drinking water because we're healthy now. And there wasn't anything in the house. That's why I actually have water. That looked like I was disgusted by the water, but I really wasn't. Next, we have for the Cleveland Cavaliers, we have Evan Mobley, who was dealing with injury most of this year, but he is pretty underrated at 15 points per night, basically 10 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and a block a night, which is pretty underrated for someone who was like a top 4 pick in the draft. Next, we have for the Dallas Mavericks, we have Josh Green, who recently did get injured. But before he got injured, he was pretty underrated from the Dallas Mavericks, averaging 8 points per game, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and not that good for blocks. But he is an outside threat, and he was coming off the bench for the Dallas Mavericks, and they don't have him anymore. So, but they're still doing good without him. Next, we have for the Denver Nuggets, we have Michael Porter Jr. Mr. Not swinging that rock. He's shooting that. He's shooting. And his stats this year are 17 points per game, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 0.5 steals, and 0.8 blocks. Pretty underrated. And he's shooting 40% from 3 this year. Pretty underrated for... But he's like their 4th or 3rd best player on the Denver Nuggets. Next, we have for the Detroit Pistons, we have Jaden Ivey, who's took a lesser role than what he was in his rookie year, which is kind of surprising. I would have thought he would have took a step forward in his sophomore season, but he took a step back in his sophomore season. But he's still averaging 15 points per game, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and kind of on the defensive end. Next, we have another rookie for the Golden State Warriors. We have Brandon Podziemski, who kind of came in and immediately was great for the Golden State Warriors. Like, putting up more points than a couple players who've been there, or no, not. He's averaging 9 points, 5, or basically 6 assists, basically 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and that on the defensive end. Pretty underrated. Next, we have for the Houston Rockets, we have Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks was a questionable signing coming into the season with his antics in the playoffs, but it looked like it paid out for the Houston Rockets, with he's averaging 12 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and basically a steal a night. Next, we have for the Indiana Pacers, we have Miles Turner, who kind of flies under the radar for the Indiana Pacers because they just acquired Pascal Siakam, so he kind of flies under the radar now, but he's underrated. He's averaging 17 points per game, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, and like basically 2 blocks a night. My brother just woke up. Give me a second. I'm not stopping this video. Give me a second. I'm sorry for that. I had to move a little bit. I had to tell him I'm recording. That was probably like a minute or something of pure silence. Next, we have for the Los Angeles Clippers, we have Norman Powell, who's on the road. He was on my 6th Man of the Year video, and he is a 6th Man of the Year candidate. He's averaging 14 points per game, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and for defense. Next, we have for the Los Angeles Lakers, we have D'Angelo Russell, who has kind of flown under the radar this year, but he's like the 3rd best player of the Los Angeles Lakers, debatably. Because you could say Rui Hachimura or you could say Austin Reeves. He's averaging 18 points per game, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, and almost a steal a night. Next, we have for the Memphis Grizzlies, we have another rookie, Gigi Jackson, the second, Gigi Jackson Jr. Gigi Jackson was not expected to come into the league and immediately be impact for the Memphis Grizzlies, but he has took advantage of the injuries in Memphis, and he's took full advantage of it. Averaging 13 points per game, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 0.5 for blocks and steals. Next, we have for the Miami Heat, we have Duncan Robinson, who keeps going on and off. Like one season he's good, the next season he's kind of bad, the next season he's good again. So this year he's actually good. He's averaging 13 points per game, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and almost a steal a game. And he is pretty underrated. 40% from 3. And on 13. And next we have for the Milwaukee Bucks, we have Bobby Portis, who I just watched the Milwaukee Bucks game today. And Bobby Portis is pretty underrated. He was green in all his shots. Let's see what he's averaging on the season. 13 points per game, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, and almost a steal a night. Pretty good for the Boston Celtics off the bench. Energy, great energy. Next, we have for the Minnesota Timberwolves, we have Jaden McDaniels, who is a great defender. That's all I know about him. I know he's a great defender. 10 points per game, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, almost a steal, and almost a block a game. Next, we have for the New Orleans Pelicans, we have Trey Murphy III, who is amazing for the New Orleans Pelicans. They have a lot of wings or something who could be amazing in this league. We have Herb Jones, we have Trey Murphy, and we even have, of course, we have Brandon Ingram. Of course, they have Zion, and they have Jordan Hawkins from this year. He's averaging 14 points per game, basically 5 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and basically almost a steal on blocks and steals. And he's shooting 37% from 3. Next, for the New York Knicks, we have Josh Hart, who's like kind of the glue, like what I said for Derek White. He's kind of the glue for the New York Knicks. Like, he hustles for rebounds. Let me see. Yeah, 8 rebounds a game, 9 points, 4 assists, almost a steal, and on blocks. Next, we have for the Oklahoma City Thunder, we have Lou Dort, who's like another type of that guy. He's like he's going to play defense. He's averaging 10 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 0.9 steals, and 0.6 blocks. Pretty underrated. Next, I agree with this one. The Orlando Magic, we have Jalen Suggs. A lot of Jalen's have stepped out this year, and Jalen Suggs is no exception. He is a great defender, and he can score the ball. 12 points per game, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, and almost a block a game. Pretty good. For the Philadelphia 76ers, we have De'Anthony Melton, who I haven't seen that much of as of late, but I know he was doing pretty good at the beginning of the season. So he's averaging 11 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and from the blocks. Next, for the Phoenix Suns, we have Josh Okogie, but another contender could be Grayson Allen. Josh Okogie is pretty good. I don't know that much about him. So 5 points per game, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and almost a steal a night. Pretty good. For the Portland Trail Blazers, we have Jeremy Grant, who is, I haven't seen that much from the Portland Trail Blazers this year, but I know he's a pretty good player. So 21 points per game, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and almost a steal a night, and almost a block a night. Sacramento Kings, we have Malik Monk, who was my winner for the 6th Man of the Year, who I think is going to win 6th Man of the Year. Let's see what he's actually averaging. 15 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, almost a steal, and almost a block. For the San Antonio Spurs, we have Keldon Johnson. It's kind of clear that Devin Vassell is going to be the second option for the Spurs, but Keldon Johnson is still pretty good. 15 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, almost a steal, and from blocks. Next, we have for the Toronto Raptors, we have Jakob Poeltl, who I don't know that much about. 11 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, almost a steal, and a block a night. Next, we have for the Utah Jazz, we have another rookie, Keontae George, who wasn't expected to come into the league and immediately put up great numbers. He's averaging 13 points, 3 assists, 4.5 assists, 3 rebounds, half a steal, and then 0.1 blocks. Next, our last player of the list, the Washington Wizards, we have Tyus Jones, who is a great point guard for them. Am I saying that right, Tyus? 12 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, and 0.3 blocks. And he's shooting 41% from 3. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and peace.